Mana, moko mana, mwabka mana, wasinda mana, mwapendelea nicha. Nabe suulinyo wose moko mana, na mwapendelea nicha. Inmoni neko mana, na bokoni, na pendelea nicha. My name is Masaka Kidawida Tiki. Kidawida is my business. Kidawida is my pride. If it is your first time here, feel at home. This is where we explore, learn, and speak this amazing language of mine that we call Kidawida. And if you are returning to this platform, Chavcha Nandigi, thank you so much for embracing and supporting Ishome Kidawida. You can also support us more by purchasing our merchandise. You can order your merchandise today by coming to my inbox using the contacts that have been displayed on the screen. Without much ado, let's get into today's episode. As you can see from the title, on this episode, we are going to learn about Vurangenyi. Please listen to my articulation keenly. Vurangenyi. Vurangenyi. Vurangenyi can be translated to at the hospital. So on today's episode, we are going to learn about some vocabulary that revolve around the hospital scene. We are also going to look at some of the possible questions that a doctor can ask a patient and some of the possible responses that a patient can give to a doctor as they try to express how they are feeling. So without much ado, let's get started. So these are some of the vocabulary that you are likely to come across the hospital scene in Kidawida. The word dakitari. Dakitari refers to a doctor, and when there are many, we call them madakitari. We have the word mrigiti. Mrigiti refers to a nurse in Kidawida, and when there are many, we call them barigiti. Before I proceed, I did an episode on professions, so you can go back and watch that episode because I actually talked about the professions, the doctor, I talked about the nurse, and many other professions in Kidawida. It is episode number 32, so you can go back and watch that episode. The other word that you're likely to come across in the hospital scene in Kidawida is the word mkongo. Mkongo refers to a patient, and when there are many, we call them vakongo, patients. We have the word vuganga. Vuganga refers to medicine, and when I talk about vuganga, I'm referring to the singular form. In plural, we call them maganga. Vuganga in singular and maganga in plural. Another word that you're likely to come across is the word sindano, and sindano refers to syringe, and it is the same in singular and in plural. Let's look at some of the possible questions and responses that you can find at the hospital scene. A doctor is likely to ask you these two questions. The first question is, kwabe bwabwa ni hao? Again, please listen to my articulation. Kwabe bwabwa ni hao. Kwabe bwabwa. Not kwawe wawa. Not kwabe baba. Kwabe bwabwa ni hao. That translates to, where are you feeling pain? Unaumwa na wapi? A doctor can also ask you, kwabe sikira bada? And that would translate to, how are you feeling? Unajisikia vipi? Ama unahisi vipi? And these are some of the possible responses that a patient can give to a doctor as they express how they feel. So a patient can say, nabesikira kusaya, and that means I am feeling unwell. Najihisi vibaya. A patient can also say, nabejigwa nchongo, and that would translate to, I have a headache. Najigwa nikudu, or nabejigwa nikudu. That would translate to, I have an ear pain. Namarwa ni meso. That translates to, I am feeling dizzy. Nabelumwa kifu. That would translate to I have a stomach ache. Ninaumwa na tumbo. Nabekoa. Nabekoa means I am coughing. Nina kohoa. Neka na isama. Isama refers to either a flu or a cold. So when someone says neka na isama, it means I have a flu or I have a cold. Najigwa ni mindi. That means my feet hurt. Najigwa ni kitemberu. That means my knee hurts. And if it is both knees, you will say najigwa ni vitemberu. And that would mean my knees hurt. Najigwa ni igego. That means I have a toothache. Najigwa ni mugongo. That means my back hurts. And as I'm also proceeding with this episode, you will realize that we are borrowing a lot from the episode on body parts, mubigwa mdamu. So if you have not watched that episode, kindly go back and watch it because it will give you a lot of information and it will make it easier for you to understand this episode better. So let's proceed. Najigwa ni kibono. That means my waist hurts. Na last one is single. That translates to I have a stiff neck. Na last one is mugongo. That means I have a nerve pain at the back. Na last one is mugongo. I have a nerve pain at the back. A patient can also say na last one ni yonge. That would mean I have a nerve pain at the shoulder. This is another possible question that a doctor could ask. Ugo wasi wazoyeli. Ugo wasi wazoyeli. And that means, when did that problem start? Hiyo shida ilianza lini? And a patient can respond by saying, for example, jumwa isirie. That means last week. A patient can also say icho, which means the day before yesterday. They can also say iguo, which means yesterday. Now, this vocabulary that are found in this question will take us back to the episode we did on how to tell time. We talked about some of this vocabulary, which is icho, iguo, lavuke, etc. So again, if you have not watched that episode, you can go back and watch it because it is a build-up. Today's episode is a build-up of what we have previously covered. Another possible question that a doctor could ask is, kwabeja vindo nicha? And on this question, the doctor would be seeking to know how your appetite is. So, kwabeja vindo nicha, that translates to, do you have good appetite? So the patient can either say yes or no. How do you say yes or no in Kidawida? Yes is he, no is aa, or hata, hata or aa. So kwabeja vindo nicha, you can say he, nabeja vindo nicha, or aa, sabeja vindo nicha. Now, these are some of the phrases that a doctor is likely to use when they are prescribing medication to the patient or they are giving some advice to the patient. So these are some of the phrases. A doctor can say, nakuandikia gamaganga dadu ikikutesia. Nakuandikia gamaganga dadu ikikutesia. That means I have prescribed these 3 medications, they will help you. I have prescribed these 3 medications, they will help you. A doctor can also say, kunyo ukubuganga mando abiko ituku. Kunyo ukubuganga mando abiko ituku. That translates to, take this medication twice a day. A doctor can also say, kunyo ukubuganga indo jimweri kwa ituku. Na kiyokwekeri. Kunyo ukubuganga indo jimweri kwa ituku. Na kiyokwekeri. That would translate to, take this medication once a day, only in the night. A doctor can also say kunyo buganga or maganga kukameria kuja. Kunyo buganga angu maganga kukameria kuja. That would translate to take medication after eating. And finally, a doctor can say this: kukameria buganga or kukameria maganga kubuye kunibone. That means once done with this medication, come for a review. So those are some of the vocabulary that you can find around the hospital scene in Kidawida. I know that I could have eliminated some words and some vocabulary. If you can remember any and you're a Kitaita speaker, put them down on the comment section below so that we can all learn this amazing and this beautiful language of ours together. In case you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me. You can come to my inbox using the contacts that have been displayed on the screen. You can also ask the questions on the comment section down below. If I don't respond to them, the other Kitaita speakers will respond to those questions. Thank you so much for embracing Ishome Kidawida. Thank you so much for supporting this initiative. And remember, this is where we explore, learn, and speak Kidawida. Kidawida is our business, and Kidawida is our pride. See you in the next episode. Bye!